Hello, welcome to the 2011 through 2012 NFL regular season schedule, Week 10 picks, Part 2 of 2. We will start off between New Orleans at Atlanta at 12 o'clock Central Time on Fox. Atlanta leads its overall regular season series with New Orleans by a 45-38 count, but was a 17-14 loser when these teams last scored off at the Georgia Dome during Week 16 of last season, and in a string of 15 consecutive home victories for the Falcons in which Ryan had started. The Saints also bested the Falcons in Atlanta by a 26-23 score during the 2009 campaign, though Ryan sat out that contest due to a toe injury and are 4-1 in their last 5 visits to the Georgia Dome. The Falcons did hand New Orleans a 27-24 defeat at the Superdome in Week 3 of last season, however. These long-time division foes have also opposed one another once in the postseason, with Atlanta passing a 27-20 decision at the Superdome in a 1991 NFC wildcard playoff game. Sean Payton is 8-2 against the Falcons during his 6-year tenure as the Saints head coach, while Atlanta's Mike Smith has gone 2-4 against both New Orleans and Payton in his present position. May the trend continue with thou. Saints 49, Falcons 40. At 12 o'clock Central Time on CBS, it's Pittsburgh at Cincinnati. The AFC North is a 3-team race this year, which confounds some experts. The Cincinnati Bengals are the ones confounding analysts. They begin a stretch of 4 straight division games this week when the Pittsburgh Steelers pay a visit for the first season meeting between these two teams. Cincinnati and Baltimore are atop the division, while Pittsburgh is a game back in the loss column. Pittsburgh won both meetings last year, but the Bengals won both in 2009 through 2010. The Steelers have won 7 of the last 9 meetings overall. The Steelers rank 3rd in the league in pass defense, 185 yards per game, and 6th against the run, 96 yards per game. The unit has recorded 23 sacks and has forced just 4 turnovers with 1 return for a score. Ryan Clark has 57 tackles with 1 interception, while Polamalu has 56 stops with a sack and a fumble recovery. Lamar Woodley has 9 sacks and James Harrison has 2 forced fumbles. The Bengals sit atop the AFC North with Baltimore after winning their 5th straight game last week, 24-17 at Tennessee. This is their longest win streak since a 6-game run in 1988. The 2 losses this year were by a total of 7 points. Cincinnati is 2-1 at home and has allowed 17 or fewer points 5 times overall in the last 3 consecutive games. The Bengals rank 2nd in the league in rushing defense, 85 yards per game, and 10th in passing defense, 217 yards per game. The group has recorded 20 sacks and forced 12 turnovers, with 3 returned for touchdowns. All I can say is that the bloodbath rivalry is renewed, and this game will provide classic AFC North football down the stretch. Bengals 37, Steelers 31. At 12 o'clock Central Time on Fox, it's St. Louis at Cleveland. In a game of 2 struggling teams, the St. Louis Rams take a trip to Ohio's North Coast to face the Cleveland Browns in Week 10 of the 2011 through 2012 NFL regular season schedule. Browns head coach Pat Shurmur is all too familiar with the Rams, being their former offensive coordinator the past 2 seasons. Even though quarterback Sam Bradford may play on Sunday, he's been hurting lately. The real key to a Cleveland win is shutting down St. Louis rusher Steven Jackson. The Browns have the number 31 run defense and are giving up an average of 144 yards per game to opposing running backs. However, they have been able to shut down opposing passing attacks, and Cleveland has the top-ranked pass defense in the NFL, giving up only 165 yards per game. If Cleveland stops Jackson, then the chances are high for the Browns to win this game. Bottom line, Shurmur knows it's tough to stop Jackson, but he can be slowed down. Browns 32, Rams 30. At 12 o'clock Central Time on CBS, it's Buffalo at Dallas. Sunday in Arlington, the current Buffalo Bills head coach will return to Dallas, where he coached for 2 seasons in the late 1990s. He has the Bills sitting atop the AFC East and is eyeing the team's first division title since 1995. while Jason Garrett, who was a quarterback for Gailey in Dallas, tries to get the Cowboys back in the NFC East race. Dallas has won 7 of the 10 all-time meetings with Buffalo, including wins in 2 Super Bowls, 1993 and 1994. The last meeting was in 2007 with Dallas winning 25-24. The last game in Dallas was in 2003, a 10-6 Cowboys win, but Buffalo ranks 7th in the league in rushing offense with 135 yards per game and 15th in passing, 233 yards per game, as Fred Jackson leads this running attack with 793 yards and 6 touchdowns and a strong 5.4 yards per carry. Bills 27, Cowboys 26. At 12 o'clock Central Time on CBS, it's Jacksonville at Indianapolis. Curtis Painter has completed 53% of his passes for 1,221 yards and 5 touchdowns with 5 interceptions, but has been sacked 11 times. Pierre Garçon and Reggie Wayne are the top wide receivers, combining for 79 catches for 1,108 yards and 5 touchdowns. Jacksonville's offense has struggled, ranking 14th in rushing offense, 119 yards per game, and last in the passing game, 124 yards per game. Blaine Gabbert has completed 46% of his passes for 907 yards and 5 touchdowns, with 4 interceptions, and has been sacked 19 times. The Colts have won 15 of 20 old-time meetings with Jacksonville, including 8 of 10 in Indianapolis. Jacksonville last won at Indianapolis in 2008, so with the Colts owning the Jaguars' number, can Indianapolis use Jacksonville to help them achieve their first win? Yes, they finally can. Colts fans, the monkey will finally be off your backs. Colts 22, Jaguars 18. At 12 o'clock Central Time on CBS, it's Denver at Kansas City. I have been on record as a Castle supporter ever since he arrived in Kansas City. But this is a game where he needs to just step up and not throw a silly interception because he's trying to do too much, as the TV guys like to say. The Chiefs need the 2010 through 2011 version of Castle to reawaken for the remainder of the 2011 through 2012, because this division is terrible and can be won with an 8-8 record. Yep, I'm going on the record that the AFC West winner will be 8-8. Castle has done it in the past, and he could do it now. If the Chiefs bring their focused A game to Arrowhead on Sunday, they win big. But I'm not sure the 2011 through 2012 Chiefs have an A game, so I'll be content with them, and I'll say that they'll have a B game and a win. Chiefs win on a Ryan Suckup field goal in the 4th quarter. Chiefs 24, Broncos 21. At 12 o'clock Central Time on Fox, it's Washington at Miami. The Redskins have little to offer in their way their offense runs. They feature at least 3 rookies on the offensive side of the ball who have started 1 game in the NFL. They might have promise, but it's just too early to tell. Now most teams would be salivating at the opportunity to play the Dolphins' defense. They are ranked 23rd overall in the league in defense. They yield 265 yards in the air and 110 on the ground on average. But the problem is, how do the Redskins exploit this weakness? The wide receivers showed little separation against San Francisco, and John Beck proved he could not get the ball downfield. Roy Hilo is a nice weapon, but he needs to be given better opportunities to make big plays. The dumb passes to him last week did not add up to much in terms of points. What might be scary for Redskins fans is that Miami is number 3 in the league in sacks. Yes, that's right, I said it. Now, even though the offensive line looked much better last week, they still have to be concerned that John Beck looked battered after the rush of the Buffalo Bills got him 10 times. Miami has some big-time sack artists, so it could be a tough day for John Beck. Look to see if Beck is exhibiting heavy feet, which will be a sure sign that the Redskins are in trouble. Dolphins 12, Redskins 10. At 12 o'clock Central Time on Fox, it's Arizona at Philadelphia. When the Eagles play host to their old NFC East rival, the Arizona Cardinals, on Sunday, the team that wins may stand an outside chance of returning to playoff contention. Philadelphia is 3-0 against teams with losing records this year, while Arizona is 0-4 against winning teams. The Eagles have won 5 of 7 regular season meetings since 2000, but the Cardinals won the last meeting 32-25 in the 2008 NFC Championship game. Arizona's last win at Philadelphia came in 2001. Eagles 33, Cardinals 13. At 12 o'clock Central Time on CBS, it's Houston at Tampa Bay. Sunday's clash in Tampa will feature one team leading the AFC South while the other team is on a slide, but still in striking distance in the NFC South. A win by either of these interconference foes Sunday will go a long way in one division race, while a loss will mean some catching up down the stretch. It will be a rare matchup when the Houston Texans visit the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. How rare? These two teams have met just twice before, splitting home wins. Houston won 28-14 in 2007, and Tampa Bay won the last home meeting in 2003, 16-3. History should repeat itself again. Buccaneers 45, Texans 38. At 12 o'clock Central Time on CBS, it's Tennessee at Carolina. These teams have faced one another 3 times previously, with Tennessee having won the last 2 meetings. The Titans posted a 20-7 home victory in their most recent matchup with Carolina, which took place in 2007 and cruised to a 31-17 triumph in their only ever visit to Bank America Stadium back in 2003. The Panthers' only win in the series occurred when the Titans franchise was still based in Houston in 1996, a 31-6 rout of the then Oilers at the Astrodome. Titans 24, Panthers 16. At 3:05 Central Time on CBS, it's Baltimore at Seattle. With the Ravens coming off an emotional win in a vital divisional game next week versus Cincinnati, this week's visit to Seattle could be a trap game if the Ravens are not careful enough. Baltimore has 2 comeback wins the last 2 weeks to put themselves on top of the AFC North. Seattle is in second in the weak NFC West, but does have a quality win over a team with a winning record, despite a current losing streak. The last time Baltimore visited Seattle was in 2007. The Seahawks won 27-6. In 2003, Baltimore beat Seattle at home 44-41. I will still go with the Ravens, but don't say I didn't warn you. Ravens 18, Seahawks 10. At 3:15 Central Time on Fox, it's the New York Giants at San Francisco. The Giants' status as NFC East leaders midway through the season may come as a surprise, but it's the San Francisco 49ers' comfortable lead in the NFC West that's even more stunning. The 49ers can move closer to clinching a division title before the end of the month by extending their longest winning streak in 14 years when they host the Giants on Sunday. New York, who is 6-2, which failed to reach the playoffs each of the last 2 seasons, is 2 games ahead of second place Dallas and 3 ahead of Philadelphia, the trendy preseason favorite to dominate the division. The Giants only bolster their status as very viable contenders for a division title by winning 24-20 at New England last week, as Eli Manning hit tight end Jake Ballard for a 1-yard touchdown pass with 15 seconds to play. While New York's rise has been unexpected, the 49ers, who are 7-1, own the NFL's second-best record under first-year head coach Jim Harbaugh, after finishing at or below .500 in each of the past 8 seasons. They have already surpassed their win total from last year after beating Washington 19-11 on the road last week, giving them 6 consecutive victories for the first time since an 11-game run in 1997. I said it before in Week 1, and I will say it again. The sky is the limit for the 49ers, and right now they are proving me right. 49ers 42, Giants 38. At 3:15 Central Time on Fox, it's Detroit at Chicago. I'm growing weary of the Bears giving up too much cushion to the tight ends. Calvin Johnson is going to be attacked by Charles Tillman, but he's going to have an extra hand. With that being said, Brandon Pettigrew could be a big-time difference maker. In a close game like this, where November makes way too many meaningful contests, it could be a couple of Pettigrew third-down hauls that keep the Bears' defense on the field longer than it should, which cannot happen against a solid offense. If Johnson doesn't go Steve Smith on Tillman and the tight end or tight ends don't burn the Bears over the middle of the field, I expect the smart offensive coordinator to put his guys in the right place at the right time to make enough plays to win this one. Forte will battle for 120 while Cutler tosses 2 red zone touchdowns for the second straight week as the defense plays more bend but don't break in a huge victory. It's the game the Bears have been waiting for, so look for them to be ready and play like they want it more than the Lions. Bears 26, Lions 19. At 7:20 Central Time on NBC, it's New England at the New York Jets, Sunday Night Football. More so than any coach in recent franchise history, Ryan has helped the Jets shed the identity of being the Patriots' sparring partner. New York has progressed significantly since the Week 5 loss, while New England has stepped back, leaving this matchup more similar to what it looked like before last season's AFC Divisional Playoff. That was a gangrene victory, and I think this one should be too. Jets 27, Patriots 23. And finally, concluding the 2011 through 2012 NFL regular season schedule, in Week 10, it is Minnesota at Green Bay. In recent years, the Vikings-Packers rivalry seemed to have addressed significance because both teams had hopes of the playoffs and/or a division title. The Packers have all but clinched a playoff spot and are 2 games clear of Detroit in the NFC North, while the Vikings are just looking to be more competitive in the second half of the regular season. That might dampen this game, but the rivalry's intensity will rule the night on Monday when Minnesota visits Green Bay at Lambeau Field. Green Bay has won 4 of the last 5 meetings at Lambeau Field and will be seeking a second straight season sweep. The last Minnesota win in Green Bay was in 2009, the last Vikings season sweep. I could just sound so subdued and say that Green Bay will blow out my Vikings, but with the way things went down a few weeks ago, I am totally convinced that we can give them a run for their money. And besides, the Packers were surprised by the wholly lit, ponderous offense. It still might not be enough, but it could be plenty to make Green Bay's winning streak nervous. Packers 38, Vikings 32. And that concludes my 2011 through 2012 NFL regular season schedule, Week 10 picks, Part 2 of 2. Thank you for tuning in this week.